Hello everyone and welcome, this is Darkfire Slide, and in this video I'll be talking about my picks for the top 10 members of the Holy Roman Empire here in EU4, based on their popularity, starting strength, ideas, and starting situation. I'm excluding the Italian states from this list since they usually Brexit by 1500, and I'm excluding the Dutch states for a similar reason. Without further ado, here are my picks for the top 10 nations in the Holy Roman Empire. Coming in at number 10, it's Ulm? Okay, so obviously Ulm isn't very good, but considering the love for this nation amongst the community, I felt I couldn't just leave Ulm out of the list, and an honorable mention simply isn't enough. That being said, it's not entirely ridiculous to have Ulm in the list. Being a free city means having free protection from the Emperor from all threats until you're ready to build an empire. Sadly, you're saddled with normal German ideas, which really aren't all that bad if we're being 100% honest, but you're also a republic, which gives you plenty of breathing room with your monarch points. Coming in at number 9 at our list, it's Cologne. This is another choice based more on factors unrelated to the quality of the nation itself. In fact, Cologne is a very personal pick for me. When I first discovered that you could play as any nation in EU4, I gravitated towards this little country with a nice black flag, or nice black and white flag, in West Germany, whose territories were, at the time, separated by another nation, and still are to this day. Cologne is still this way. But they at least have slightly better development than most of their neighbors, and most importantly, if you have common sense, Cologne gains the wonderful bishopric government. Also, they start out at kingdom rank, making it easier to get diplomatic actions up and running. And their divine ideas aren't too shabby either. For my number 8 pick, we have Pomerania, and no, it's not because of the dogs, although they are cute. Pomerania is a nation in the northeast of Germany with some serious neighbor issues going on. That being said, it has a very interesting set of ideas revolving around trade, which can be useful for a player who manages to expand into Scandinavia. Because of its ideas, Pomerania can be used to form a powerful naval-based Holy Roman Empire or Germany in the late game, making them pretty special in that regard. Still, because of its early game and lack of land-based ideas, apart from an impressive 10% land morale at the game start, Pomerania is quite low on the list. At least it's not Ansbach. Here at number 7 we have the Palatinate. The Palatinate is part of a group of nations in the Holy Roman Empire that have access to powerful diplomatic options. Their country is fractured at the start, but because they gain fairly early access to strong diplomatic ideas, including an extra diplomatic relations slot from the start, they can very easily maneuver through the Holy Roman Empire and take land where they wish, and quite easily become emperor as well. Better missionaries, minus 5% tech costs, and +2 tolerance of heretics are quite strong indeed. Unfortunately for the Palatinate, there's someone who's just better at their job. And that someone is our number 6, Saxony. Like the Palatinate, Saxony gains access to bonus diplomatic abilities through their national ideas, as well as some nice bonuses, like a 50% better chance for an heir to help protect their dynasty. This is especially important for a Saxon attempting to become emperor, but is universally useful so long as a Saxon king rules. They have some decent options for early expansion, but should be mindful of an aggressive Bohemian who may attempt to claim Saxon lands. For our number 5 slot, we have the subtly strong nation of Switzerland. The Swiss have a lot of advantages. 10% stronger infantry combat from the start, mountainous terrain to protect themselves in a defensive war, and a republic will ensure a steady stream of monarch points for a Swiss player. The Swiss start out in a somewhat precarious position, but expanding into rich Italian lands can prove to aid in expansion of Switzerland. Also, they have an achievement tied to their country for owning a number of provinces without owning a port, the Switzerland. It's also worth mentioning that Switzerland is completely unable to form Germany. I don't know if this is because they're tied to a monarchy, or if they are a republic and not a monarchy, or if it's related to some other reason I'm not aware of. At our number 4 slot, we have a small regional power surrounded by hungry neighbors, Bavaria. While Bavaria is initially weaker than her neighbors, Austria and Bohemia, with some careful diplomatic maneuvering, she can turn that situation into an advantage by taking some of the rich clay nearby. Bavarian ideas are all fairly solid as well, including an interesting plus 10% to cavalry combat that can be very useful in the early game, where cavalry are the dominant force. Coming in at number 3 on the list, we have Bohemia. Bohemia is a nation which, when controlled by a player, is very easy to turn into a serious powerhouse. Starting with a plus 10% to imperial authority, Bohemia can easily make a bid for the emperor and form the HRE proper fairly quickly. Other ideas like -1 to national unrest and -10% to tech cost can help this nation truly excel above the rest alongside its higher starting development than most other nations in the Holy Roman Empire, especially considering that they have the vassal of Silesia to begin with. Bohemia is a truly powerful nation and a fun one to play for people who love the mechanics of the Holy Roman Empire. Anyone who has played EU4 has probably had to put up with Austria's shenanigans at some point, and for good reason. Austria is number 2 on our list because she has the highest starting development of any nation in the HRE, and starts the game as the Emperor, providing some seriously strong bonuses. While the Austrian army lacks some of the flair of other states in the Holy Roman Empire, she makes up for it with some of the best diplomatic ideas in the game, making Austria the most likely to become an emperor of the HRE proper out of any nation. And yet, despite all of this, there can only be one proper number 1 in the Holy Roman Empire. And that number 1 spot goes to the one, the only, Brandenburg. With fully unlocked ideas, Prussian ideas provide Brandenburg with the strongest military in EU4, bar none. You get French morale, Swedish infantry combat ability, and near Japanese levels of discipline, combined with your own picks for ideas, make this small nation entirely capable of crushing the opposition. Its starting position isn't too bad either, with plenty of minors to expand into, though the late game is what you'll really be holding out for. Brandenburg has unmatched potential, and is worth a run for any player seeking a strong land army. Thank you for watching this top 10 video. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving me a like, and comment with your own top 10 list, or suggestions for future top 10s. And, of course, subscribe to see when I upload the next one.